at the beginning of a traditional Vedanta class and at the end of the class also. Few verses will be chanted initially. At the end of the class, the other verses will be chanted. And every time they chant a verse, complete the verse, and the verse ends with Tasmai Shri Gurumurtaye Namaidam Shri Dakshinamurtaye. Like this, when they say Idam Namaha Dakshinamurtaye, the students will do Namaskar. They stand and chant and do Namaskar. Like this they do the first 4 verses in the beginning, the rest of the verses later. So every class begins with the verses, ends with these verses. Part of it in the beginning, part later. And so in the tradition, these verses are highly respected, revered verses, considered to be a stotram. Stotram means verses of praise. A stotram which is supposed to confer upon the student this knowledge. Means certain stotras somehow gain this kind of a name. There are temples and temples. Some temples become very popular, They are all very popular temples. The other temples also are temples. But like a temple in Tirupati, temple in Palani, they become popular temples. Temple in Tanjore is called Big Temple of Tanjore. It's a marvel of stone work creation. And in Tanjore district there is no stone at all. And the whole tower is made up of stone. Generally the towers, the Gopuram, generally it is done with bricks and mortar, stucco work. Even old, they used this lime mortar, small bricks, very small bricks. With that they used to make. It's called stucco. But this is not stucco, solid stones. And it's an amazing engineering feat. Even till today, the people marvel at this. All engineers marvel at this. But as a temple of worship, it's not as popular. As a small temple nearby, there is one goddess temple nearby, Mariamman temple, that attracts thousands of devotees. In fact, the money that they earn from there, collect from there, not earn, collect, money collected there is used for the maintenance of this temple also. We don't know why, but then certain temples become very popular. Ganges flows all over, but certain places become very important. Ghats, the places where you take bath, that is the important place. In Haridwar, the Ganges is available. For every ashram it is available, just because most of the ashrams are built on the Ganga. And they have a way to go there also. And you can go, then have a dip there. No. They have to come to this particular place. This is called Harikipet. Some special place. There alone they come and take a bath there. To that place, some association. So like this, by association or by the sankalpa of people, for whatever reason, we find certain certain places become more inspiring and therefore more popular, and more popular, therefore more inspiring. That's the reality. When we have many stotras, very beautiful stotras, this Dakshinamurti Stotram has become very, very popular among the traditionalists, attributed to Shankara. We don't know whether it was from Shankara, but it is attributed to Shankara. And it has been there for ages, for centuries. This tradition of chanting the Dakshinamurti Stotram. And why? Because I think the stotra is very profound. It has all the things that we have to discover in the whole Vedanta Shastra along with Bhashya. Vedanta Shastra, without Vedanta Shastra means Upanishads, then the Bhagavad Gita, then the analytical Shastra in the form of sutras with the Bhashya, that is the Brahma Sutras. So all these three are called Prasthanatrayi. Three important books which include the Bhashya of Shankara. When you say I have studied Prasthanatrayi, you mean that you have studied the Bhashya. Then only you can say I have studied Prasthanatrayam. So not mere texts. Mere text, the Sutra, Brahma Sutras, you don't even understand what is going on. When somebody composes sutras, that author introduces the whole argument with these sutras to the student he teaches. Then a parampara is created. The sutras are too brief. Sometimes they can be interpreted wrongly. So it comes along with a tradition, sampradaya. And therefore, mere text itself is not enough. That's why it has to be taught. Whether you study the Bhashya, if it is taught by a person who has studied the Bhashya, it will be in keeping with the Bhashya. Nobody moves away from it. If at all there is something added, some little change is made, if the Bhashyakara were to listen to that, he would be very happy also. Oh, that's fine, no problem. Because it doesn't hurt. So the whole sampradaya is such that it can allow a few changes here and there, as long as the changes are permissible. Permissible because the interpretations, the changes, have to fulfill certain criteria. Like the sentence grammatically should allow such an interpretation. And that it should not hurt the main vision, the main discussion. All that it should add. Already what is presented by the sampradaya, so is to be enhanced by this. Then it's allowed. Because the sampradaya is very live, dynamic sampradaya. And that's why you will find acharyas, all of them add, if you take the Bhagavad Gita, Bhashyakara treats in a certain way. And the Bhashyakara's treatment is very, very, very brief really in the Bhagavad Gita, except in one or two places. It's very brief. Bashikara means Shankara. Then, yeah, in the same order comes this Madhusudana Saraswati, who was a scholar, saint, sannyasi, and who had contributed a lot. By the time Madhusudana Saraswati appeared in the scene, there were already some other acharyas who had come, dealt with the same Upanishad, Gita, Brahma Sutras, and propounded different theologies. What is a spiritual pursuit? What is wisdom? Wisdom means to be understood, right now to be gained. Is converted into a theology, a set of belief systems, by some well-meaning acharyas. Amazing it is. So like we have Madhva, Ramanuja, Vallabha, Nimbarka and others. All of them are acharyas, they have got to follow it. And they are presenting a theology. Understand the difference between theology? Theology is a purely belief. Spiritual reality is something that is here, right now it's real. What is real is to be understood right now here. So then only there is a spiritual pursuit. Otherwise there is a religious pursuit with certain beliefs. Even understanding of Ishvara is all a problem. In fact, understanding of everything will be a problem. Other than Vedanta, anything else will be a problem. Satma understanding will be a problem. Jagat understanding will be a problem. Ishvara understanding will be a problem. The whole approach is a problem. It's purely a simple religious belief. It can as well be a Christianity, a Christian theology, or Islamic theology, or any other theology. With some changes. Only thing is, the theologies that are propounded by the acharyas cannot be as wild as those theologies are. But they are theologies. There is no reincarnation, there is no rebirth, there is no karma. Here there is karma accepted by all of them. So, but still, these fellows also are tourism promoters, interested in sending you to heaven. So, Vaikunta. And Shaivites will say Kailasa. So, thus we have theologies here also. Little more reasonable. Because there is a tradition of teaching being there. So it can't be unreasonable. Totally. Little more reasonable. But still basically it's a belief. And naturally this sampradaya, these three, what we call the three books, the Upanishads, the Gita and the Brahma Sutra. So they are commented upon, and along with the commentary, it is studied. Madhusudana comes here, a tradition, just to tell you how live is the tradition. Madhusudana comes to answer these people, these Madhva, Ramanuja and others, to answer them. So he introduces new arguments, a new way of looking at the whole thing. And thus you find he has his own commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. And this commentary, the Gita Rahasya, that is the commentary, I think. So that commentary differs a lot. But there is no big hurt for the main theme. He doesn't go away from Shankara totally, but he does treat little differently. And if you want to know Patanjali Yoga Shastra in a in a in a brief way, in one place, you should read his commentary on the 6th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita. That's an excellent presentation of the whole thesis of Patanjali. And that's how it is, even though the Gita 6th chapter doesn't have anything to do with that. He presents like that. He wants to include some people, etc. And then another Acharya came and he commented upon the same Gita, and then following, that is called Shankara Bhashya Utkarsha or something like that. Here there is a commentary. And then his job was only to point out the mistakes in Madhusudana. Madhusudana defers Shankara and he says, you have no business to defer Shankara because you are wrong. What is there for you to differ here? There is nothing for you to differ. By being different, you are only committing a mistake. That's one more fellow coming and then talking about that. I say that how live the whole tradition is. It's a very live tradition. But all of them follow the main vision. None of them is contradicting the main vision. Nobody. And therefore, it is allowed. You can introduce some changes, etc., as long as you fulfill the criteria. And this Prasthana Traya, whatever it discusses, all that is brought briefly into a set of verses which are in the form of praise, namaskara to Ishvara. Why? Because there is Namayidam Dakshinamurtaye. Idam Namaha, this namaskar, this my salutation to the Lord Dakshinamurti. So it becomes a stotra. So it's not a book. So with a beginning, where there is some stotra, afterwards like Panchadashi Visa. So the first couple of verses praise the Guru, the Lord, etc. Then afterwards it is purely discussion. That's a work. That is not a stotra work. That's a prakarana. So this is not a prakarana. Vedanta prakaranam you cannot say. But it's purely stotra. Stotram like Achyutam, Keshavam, Ramanarayanam, Krishna Damodaram, Vasudevam Bhaje. This is stotra. Stotra Priya, Stotra Mavadaraya, every day in the temple. Then there is some stotra is a song of praise. So a verse of praise. Really, stotras are verses of praise. In the Veda itself, this is introduced. The suktam, every suktam is a kind of a hymn of praise. Because it is Veda, it is called hymns of praise, not verses of praise. Because Vedic mantras being involved. So Sri Rudram, full of Namaha. Therefore it is called Namaka. And the other one full of Chakara. Therefore it is called Chamaka. So Namaka and Chamaka. It's all Sukta. Really, it's all Sukta. Even though the Chamaka looks as though that you are asking the Lord, please give me this, give me that, give me this, give me that, give me that, that also, this also, cha, 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 covers all types of desire, even the ones that you don't have and you won't have. They are also there, Chamaka. So the Prayaschame, the may Prayacha, you please bring me this thing. That may really, either you are asking for, let this be for me, you can say, or that may can be, it is all, everything is mama atmanaha evidam sarvam. Mama may, that mama may, if you say, it is for me, is gone. It is of me, everything already. It is all Siddha. So it is therefore Stotra really. It is Parameshwara Stotra. Parameshwara as Atma. Everything is, in the beginning, everything is you, unto you my salutation, that is Rudram. Followed by Chamakam. Once you have surrendered to the Lord, then what is left out is only the Lord. Therefore, Mama, everything is Mama. Everything is of me alone. Mama Atmanaha. This Namarupa alone. The Atma's Namarupa iti becomes again praise of the Vastu. This in the Veda itself we have this kind of Sukt, it means the Stotra. We call them as Suktam, Suktani, and they are in English we say hymns. But in these verses, outside the Veda, we have a huge literature of Stotra. The most popular in the north, especially in all the ashrams, is this Shiva Mahimna Stotra of Pushpadanta. Very beautiful stotra. Very well written, great language, and it's an excellent, the concept, everything. Stotra. It's not like Venkatesha Suprabhata. Very difficult to find some meaning for all those verses. But kashtam. Tirumi paakano, meaning. There's no meaning. Popular, all right. Because of mic and people going there every morning you hear, therefore everybody does that. But whatever it is, it's still a stotra, it is. It's fine, it's acceptable. But the concepts are beautiful. Like many acharyas have stotra, Kalidasa has stotra. Dandaka Stotram, Samala Dandakam of Kalidasa. Amazing piece of work. And his Minakshi, there is one stotra. Just it's literature, it's the concept, everything. It's so beautiful, the language. Like this, we have admirable stotras. Endless. There is one book called Stotra Mahodadi. Stotra Ratnakara. Ratnakara also is ocean, the ocean of Stotra. So you have, like this, we have Stotra books, collected Stotras. Many Stotras that we chant, we sing, we every day recite. We don't know even the author. Apaya Dikshita has got his own stotra. In this stotra, there is a certain poetry involved, certain imageries involved, certain the Saguna Brahma, and underneath there will be always the Vastu. If this Stotrakara, the author, has the knowledge of the Shastra, that's always undercurrent, understand? It is undercurrent. Sometimes very, very well said also. Then even Ravana had contributed to this stotra, whether he did or not. So Ravana's stotra also is like that. Jata, Katap. Like this stotra is a very interesting stotra, it is Shiva Tandava stotra. Lord Shiva in his dance is praised. You have a very good stotra there. That is also popular, at least the first verse is popular. Because in every Bandara in Rishikesh, Bandara is all the sadhus come to a point where they all eat. And it's a kind of a feast. And then after eating, the last verse is this jata. That once that stotra is over, that one verse that is over, you will not find one of these 200 people gone. The most beautiful thing in this Bandara is the next minute after this jata kata, this particular stotra. That this stotra is over, they are gone. Where did they go? How did they go? Nobody hangs around. Gone. When you go to Rishikesh, you should watch this always. I always tell them, hey, watch what happens after this. Gone. Fadafat. There is something about that. I like that. Kaam ho gaya, chale jao. Om Tat Sat. So that's a particular attitude, sadhu attitude. I love that. But before the Bandara, they will be coming there even earlier. 1 hour earlier they may come, some of them, half an hour earlier they may come, 15 minutes earlier they may come. And just before they may come, 11:30 minutes, 11:30, just before 11:30 they will come, 11:30 they will come, 11:35 they will come. But it's over at 12 o'clock, it's over, not one of them. Anyway, this is just a piece of information. What I say, these stotras are used by people. And in all these stotras, you find there is some either the author expresses the devotion in a certain way, you can identify with that emotion. And or he just praises the glory of Ishvara. Whatever is all stotra. When you do archana, the archana is nothing but the stotra separated, the names are different names, 1008 names. These 1008 names, Vishnu Sahasranama. And this, you separate them, they are in the form of verses only, in Mahabharata. And those verses, you take and then separate the words, because there are so many names piled up. Just Nama of Ishvara. 1000 names of Ishvara. And there are the names, if you analyze, some names are purely the Vastu. Pure Vedanta words. Anantaya Namaha. That's the Vedanta. Ananta is Vedanta. Brahmane Namaha. Sarvatmane Namaha. The one who is Sarvatma. Sarvarupaya Namaha. Sarvaya Namaha. Like this, if we keep on saying all these are Vedanta. Unless you know Vedanta, these words have no meaning. But still, they are names of the Lord, that much everybody knows, and therefore it's okay. So, varieties of names, pure Vedanta words. Either they are Nirvishesha Brahman or Savishesha Brahman. Saguna Brahman or Nirguna Brahman. Then when it is said, it is, that's about the one, when you say Chidananda Rupaya Namaha, Chit Sarupine Namaha, like this, Chidatmane Namaha. If the words are like that, it is all Nirvishesha. No attributes. The real, the Vastu. Then if you say Sarvatma, etc., then it is all Saguna. So the one who is in the form of Jagat, Jagat Kartre Namaha, Bhartre Namaha. Like this, the one who is the sustainer, and one who is the creator, one who is the Samhartra, Samhartri, Samharta, the resolver. Like this, they are all Saguna Brahma. That is also Vedanta. Then comes words. And the words which are purely avatara words. They are avatara words. You know. So the avatara words, Lord Vishnu means, then he has all these 10 avatars. So all words are available. This is called Leela. So the Bhagavad Leela means here Bhagavan's Mayaya, Bhagavan's manifestation in a particular form, that is what is called Leela. Leela means not a dance, etc. For Narsimha Avatar also is Leela. There is no dance, there is nothing. It's a frightening situation. And therefore, Leela from the standpoint of Praveshwara means that that particular form was assumed for a purpose. But there, the grace of Praveshwara is manifest there. The result of the people's prayer is illustrated there. Then your appeal is answered. That's all illustrated in all this Leela Vigraha. And therefore words which talk about Leela Vigraha, or which talk about the deeds of the Avatara. And these are the 3 types of words you will find in every Sahasranama. Vishnu Sahasranama, Shiva Sahasranama. Any Sahasranama, 1008 names or 108 names, you will find these 3 types of words. So in this, all these are in a verse form, and then you separate them and add Namaha to each one of them. Thus you have a Om Achyutaya Namaha, Anantaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. Like this you add Om, Om, Om. You add Om and Namaha also you add. It's all Stotra. Stotra is, the main word is the Stotra, the Chaturthi. That which is in the dative case is the altar of praise. And then Namaha is praise only. He is praised, you have surrendered. His quality is praise, you surrender. Unto him my surrender iti Namaha, salutation, etc. It's considered to be the praise. Thus you have in all these the 3 types of words in all these stotras. So one is the Nirvishesha Brahman, the Tattvam, the reality. Shavishesha Brahman, Saguna Brahman, Ishvara, both form the subject matter of Vedanta. Then afterwards you have Avatara. The Avatara is accepted by us, but the details, words, etc., they are not part of Vedanta. but they are acceptable. And therefore you find all the three. They are not opposed to Vedanta. Once you accept Saguna Brahma, some more words is not a problem at all. So thus we have these three types of words in every stotra. Now when it is Dakshinamurti Stotram, what is then what is it something special about that? What is the special feature in this Dakshinamurti Stotram? So the special feature is the Dakshinamurti, that Lord himself in that form Dakshinamurti has some special feature. And that is the content of the stotra. The Lord is praised as the creator of everything. Lord is praised as the one who has all the glories. The Lord is praised as the one who is almighty, who can destroy. Everything you can take back. As all-knowing, everything, this kind of praise is there. So when it is avatara words, the words are avatara words, means words based upon revealing the avatara, deeds of the avatara. Gopi Vallabhaya Namaha. And like this you have the Gopalaya Namaha, Govindaya Namaha. Like this, Krishna. So there, those words that are there, special words. Here, Dakshinamurti, when you say, you are looking at Ishvara in a certain form. Here also some kind of avatara is there. Some kind of avatara. The Lord, Shiva, appears. Lord Shiva means Ishvara. Appears in the form of a teacher. That is a special feature. Nowhere you will find teacher except in Krishna. Krishna is Jagat Gurave Namaha, one more word for him. Because he is the Guru for Arjuna, through Arjuna to everybody else. So he becomes Yogeshwaraya Namaha, Jagat Gurave Namaha. In Krishna Sahasranama you will find all these words. But here it is not simple Jagat Gurave Namaha. Here the Lord is presented as the source of this knowledge, spiritual knowledge. The Vigraha itself is that way. So the five elements I have, the other day told you, the five elements, the Ashtamurti is a typical, so the typical traditional form of Ishvara, this Ashtamurti. This Ashtamurti is the five elements, then sun and moon, moon standing for all satellites, and sun stands for satellites and planets. Sun stands for all the stars. So sun plus moon, 5 plus 2, 7. And the eighth one who is looking at the whole thing, Jiva. This is the Lord, Ishvara. You can't present it better. So this Lord, who is all, that Lord is seen there in the Dakshinamurti. This Lord, who is maker and the material cause. One side you will find is he, she, suggested. In this sculpture you have to indicate that. And there in this particular murta, form, murta means the particular form, you find that the sculptor has done, the tradition it is, not the sculptor really, There is a book for this. How you should do Dakshinamurti. That book tells exactly, the Shilpa Shastra. That Shastra of icons, that tells exactly how Dakshinamurti should be. One side, the earring is different from the other side. They're different. It's not punk, understand. It is Nimitta Karana and Upadana Karana. The left side will be a earring, very normal. The right side is some kind of a snake there. Male, that is the difference there. And thus the Lord is all the four. In this, in one hand, Agni is there, fire as one of the elements. And Damaru stands for space. Enclosed space is there. And the whole idol itself is earth. There is Gangaji, there water. Therefore, water, fire, space, there is a bandana. Bandana is bandhana, against wind, around the hair, jata, mandalam. That's why a lot of hair on the top. And that is kept. Only for that Vayu sake, lot of hair. To keep it in place, the hair in place, there is a bandana standing for Vayu. What else? How else you can say? Indicate Vayu, that is the Vayu. In a statue. You can't do anything better. That is suggestive all. So 5 elements, sun and moon, and you will find in the idol itself Sanaka, Rishi sitting there all around. So that is the form. Ishvara form. Complete. Now it's not just Ishvara worship only. But there is certain specific also. It is a general worship, Ishvara worship. I pray to the Lord. Here is the Lord, who is all. Perfect. And then there is special, something special. What is special? He has in one hand, that's why 4 hands, etc. So that you can keep a few things, understand. He's not a 4-handed person. So in that murta, we have that extra 2 hands so that you can show some things. In one hand is like this. One hand is like this. The other hand has got a book and a japamala. You see, one japamala, japamala, this lace of beads, rosary, hanging there, and then book is there. The book is palm leaf book. Now that book stands for the Veda. He is the source of knowledge, Veda. And not only Veda, especially we invoke him for this knowledge. What is this? Paka. Tattvamasi. Tat, Angushta. Tarjaniya means accusing finger, ahankara, brought together. It was with body, prana, antakarana. This is what ahankara was. Body, prana, mind, antakarana. This is ahankara, ego, atma. It is here. Now, we separate this atma and then understand that it is nothing but Brahman. Because of which all these have strength. Itself stands away from everything. This is what is called Tattvamasi, Tattvamasi. Because when you write in English, TAT. And therefore one fellow said, tatomacy. So this is not tatomacy or titomacy. Tit for tat, titomacy and tatomacy. This is tattvamasi. This particular knowledge you want. And for this special, this is the special. Tattvamasi is the special. And there is a special future in the Dakshinamurti. And when I pursue this knowledge, then I go to a guru. When I go to a guru, the guru, that is Lord Dakshinamurti. Understand? Means who has no guru. All knowledge. Source of all knowledge and the source of this knowledge. We trace to Ishvara, Parameshwara alone, this as the original Guru. Okay? In the pursuit of this knowledge, I face a lot of obstacles. And these obstacles are generally emotional. So these emotional obstacles are represented by an asura who is called apasmara. The one who makes you forget everything and creates all kinds of problems, this is apasmara. This apasmara is alive, is not dead, understand? He is alive. So Narasimha killed Hiranyakashipu. Rama killed Ravana. And Krishna killed Kamsa and others, Shishupala and others. But Dakshinamurti doesn't kill, but keeps the fellow under his foot. That reveals something. You expect this kind of problems, but you are on top of these problems. That's all what we want. Never pray, I should have no problems. Don't pray. Because that means you are accepting you have got problems. And that's a confirmation of a problem that is not really true. Therefore, you always pray for the space, the capacity to manage this apasmara. Keep the fellow under my foot. He is not going to take over me. For which give me the strength. Understand? For a mumukshu's refuge is this Gurunam Guruhu. This is the source of knowledge, Dakshinamurti. Therefore you will find an apasmara with a sword in his hand, with a knife in hand. He's got a knife to hurt you. And whose grace will keep this apasmara under control. Complete. And therefore, who rides tamas, Pashu, who is the Lord of tamas. Tamas is a great enemy for us. He is the Lord of tamas. The bull stands for tamas. And he is the Lord of tamas. No problem. He wields tamas. He wields sattva. He wields rajas. But we want tamas to be under control. Yes, it's always under control with the grace of Ishvara. He rides this bull. In some places, bull is out. Sometimes you have the bull. He rides. He is mounted on this bull. Like in Sailersburg, you have the bull on which she is seated. Here, originally, this was planned like that only. Then afterwards, the sculptor came to me and said, Swamiji, why not we keep the bull outside? In fact, he provided that. That's why you'll find this way, like this. So he provided for, he had already done, and bull was to be done. Then afterwards he said, Swamiji, I think we should keep the bull outside better. It'll be better, he said. Okay, I said. And then afterwards he reorganized the whole thing. That's why it's like, it's what it is. And so you have a Murta here who is complete in every form, who is all for your general prayer, is fine. He is both Nimitta Upadana, therefore there is God, Goddess, both of them are there. And who is also specially for a Mumukshu Guru. In astrology, it's a very important thing. If marriage has to take place for somebody, Guru Balam is necessary. In astrology, there is a Jupiter, the planet is called Guru, Brihaspati. That unless the Guru grace is there, marriage won't take place. That in the transit, you find that Guru time comes, then marriage takes place. And if it is even in spite of that, transit-wise everything is okay, but still there is some problem natally. In natal chart there is a problem. Then the astrologer will say, go to Dakshinamurti temple and propitiate Dakshinamurti for Guru Balam. Not only for marriage, for everything in the horoscope, Guru position is very important. For money, for education, for well-being, Guru's grace, Guru aspects somebody who is there, inimical, and all his power comes down. Guru is the most benign and also powerful. So in astrology, and therefore they'll all come to Dakshinamurti temple. Generally, the Dakshinamurti temple is always a part of Shiva temple. Dakshinamurti is only a shrine in the Shiva temple. There is no separate Dakshinamurti temple anywhere. And here you have, in Sailisburg, you have separate Dakshinamurti temple, nowhere else. But here we have added now Shiva Parvati also separately, but still you have a Dakshinamurti as facing the south. Why he faces the south? There must be some reason. Already, generally, they face only east and all that. But why Lord Dakshinamurti faces south? We will look into that tomorrow and then proceed. Okay. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vasishyate Om Shanti 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 Harihi Om Sri Guru Bhyo Namaha Harihi Om